Let's look at this hair though, baby. Like, I've been getting nothing but compliments, so.
You already know I wanna love you. You already know. Grinding, I'm on the floor.
No, seriously, this is how you do passion twist. So if you came to this video expecting a full-on video of showing step by step, I'm sorry, this is not it. But this is probably going to be your favorite video that you have seen so far. You know why? Because a lot of them just show you what they do and don't really explain why you're doing it, which I think is very important, because even with me doing this style, I've messed up a few times. But as I got to the front, I mastered it, honey. So I'm going to tell you some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that can help make this style go a lot faster. Now, one thing that I want to tell you is that when people come on here and say,
oh, this style took me about 3 hours.
They're lying. Either they're lying or I'm just that slow, because child. Keep in mind, I do not know how to cornrow. I feel like people who know how to cornrow can probably master this a little easier, even though it's twist, just because people who cornrow twist a lot faster. So I don't really twist that fast, so maybe that's the issue. I'm also kind of a perfectionist. Not in everything, but when it comes to my hair, like, I don't want people being like,
Ooh, that girl look funny.
So I want to make sure I look nice, especially if I did it myself. I don't want people to be like, oh,
You should have paid somebody.
like, I want people to go,
Oh, you did that?
yeah, bitch, I did that. Keep in mind, even though this style takes a very long time to do, this is my second time doing it. And when I say long, I mean long. I had my friend part it for me, so I didn't even have to worry about that part. The first time I did it, I had my mom part it for me. I just realized me and parting just don't go together. Like, we're like oil and water, we just don't go together, and it's okay, because I can do other things. It is okay. Even with that being said, and me just twisting the hair and crocheting it, but also trying to find the right method, it took me about 12 hours, you want to say, because I'm still not finished and I'm in Vegas doing this. Like, I had to hop on a plane with my hair not done because it took me that long. I started about 9 o'clock at night and I went up until 4 a.m. So that was about 7 hours. And then I ended up coming out here. And then it took me maybe like 2 hours, because I did it in the bathroom. I'll show a little clip. Like, my room wasn't ready and I wasn't trying to walk around with a scarf all day. Like, I'm in Vegas, baby. I ended up landing around 9 and my room is not ready, so I'm doing my hair in the bathroom. No shame in my game, okay? It's better than walking around like this, right? Right? So let me show you the setup that I got. So this is going to help you move things a lot quicker. Find out what colors you want. Now, when it comes to the twist, if you like the size that I have, you only need 2 strands. What you're gonna do is you're gonna separate it like so. So I just have it laid out. I like to use a light blonde mixed with a darker blonde. This is both the Lulu Tress brand. It's like a 27-613, and then the darker blonde is just 27. I'll link it down below. In the back of my hair, I use some Freetress equal packs. Now let me tell you about that, okay? When it comes to passion twist, if you're like me, you're gonna think, okay, the more expensive the hair, the better the hair is. Maybe that's the hair that I wanna get. Not necessarily. The Freetress Equal brand is a good hair, don't get me wrong, but it's just way too expensive. Like, you don't need to spend all of that money to get a cute style. Like, the Lulu Tress is probably half the price, you get more packs with it, and it's way easier to separate. Like, the Freetress Equal brand, the curl is so tight that it takes you way longer just trying to separate the curl, in all honesty. I recommend the Lulu Tress over the Freetress Equal, but to each its own. Let me get started into what I actually do, because enough with the rambling, right? Where's my crochet needle? Dun, 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 dun. So I got 20 inches. You don't need to get 20 inches. You don't need to. If you want to get shorter, that's fine. You can still get it long. Oh, I'll show you later how long it is, but it's long, okay? When you take the hair, you want to take the hair and you want to separate it to where it's different lengths at the bottom, like so. This is one of the important parts. It's informative. And a lot of the videos, the girls will be like,
Okay, so now I separate the hair.
and they'll separate the hair. Now, I'm gonna tell you why I don't like to do that. Once you separate the hair, it's very thick. So then trying to twist it onto this little ass hook is mad hard. So like the first time I did it, I'm gonna show you what I did. Like after I separated it and I would try and clasp it, some of the hair would not be in the clasp. So when I pulled it through the hole to go through my hair, it was just a hot mess, like this. So because of that, that's why I say do not listen to those other videos, especially if this is your first time. Like if you did this before, you feel like you got a little grip on it, cool. Do you, girl? You got this? You trust yourself? I trust you. If this is your first time and you're looking to me for some advice, then listen to me because I'm giving you some advice. So now don't separate it yet, like I said. Twist it like so. I like to do this, leave me alone. Some people do it vertical, some people do it horizontal. I've done it both ways on my head. In the back, I do it vertical just because it's easier for me to stick it. The needle stays. I can hook the hair on. Like it's mad hard for me to do it horizontal. So I do it vertical in the back. In the front, I do it horizontal. If your first time ever crocheting, you want to take the needle. This is the needle closed. This is the needle open. Now, when it's closed and you push it through your hair, it's gonna tangle and it's gonna hurt. So you wanna make sure that it's open. Then you go under the braid like so. I like to turn it to where it's visible and I can see it. Here comes the fun part. Twist the hair like so. Like I said, I like to hold it like that. Now once you get it on the hook and everything is good, close it. Now this is something I like to do. I just like to rub my fingers to make sure all the hair is in there and then slide it through. Okay. When I first did it, I was like, should I twist it? You don't have to twist it, okay? Twisting it just makes it harder, right? Now, when I'm in the back, I take this whole piece and I put it through the hole and I'll pull through. Just because in the back I cannot see what's going on, and I'm gonna explain to you right now. The problem with that is that it looks a lot bulkier at the root. So if you want to do both ways, that's fine. But when you get to the front of your hair, like you want to do it separate. You want to separate these two pieces that I had. Cool. So then you want to take the braid, pull it through. And then you want to take one side, loop it through. This is why I don't like to do this method in the back because I cannot see. But in the front, I can see. When you do it, you have to be very careful because if you loop it too fast or wrong, this part is going to look crazy. So just, take your time, loop it so that's kind of neat. And then if you want to make it tighter, just make it tighter. But I don't really use a mirror in the back of my head, so I can't see that, so I'll just do one piece. But you see how it's like a thin knot? If you loop that whole hair through the hole, it'll be a big knot, and you don't want that in the front of your hair. So now you separate the hair. Separating the hair makes it thicker. So now I like to separate it because this is not going nowhere. Like it's not going nowhere. So I can just separate it and not have to worry about the hair, getting caught up in the loop and everything. Like I still separate my hair, just not first. Just not first. That's gonna save you so much time, girl. So much time, okay? Okay, now I usually like to use jam for this part, but I left it at home, so I'm using edge control. I suggest that you use shine and jam instead of edge control for what I'm about to do right now, but to each its own. Use whatever is gonna hold your hair, whatever you know holds your hair good. That's it. Now, before we actually go into twisting it, I saw this from, if I could find the video, I'll definitely link it because it helped me so much, but I separate the hair, and before I actually twist it together, I twist just the hair without my braid. Like, obviously I'm not gonna go out like this, but the reason why is because the hair is so like coily and twisty. If you twist it the wrong way, it'll have that kind of loose twist. Like, you see passion twists on some people and they look really good, and then others it's like, what the hell? It's because they didn't twist it right. So, ooh, okay, so you see how nice and chunky that looks? Like, that looks good. Now, if I twist it the other way, it's gonna look weird. Now, I'm gonna show you. You see how I look loose and no, we don't want that, sis. So the reason why I do this first is because you don't want to twist your whole hair and then get to the bottom and realize that you twisted it the wrong way. Because while you're twisting it, since it's stretched, you really don't see the difference until it's done. And then you're like, damn, I got to take this whole twist out. Like, what the fuck did I just do? Now, each twist is not the same. So don't do this once and then say, okay, I'm twisting that way on my whole head. Like, no, it changes. It just changes. I cannot tell you why, but it just changes. So now I like to attach my hair to hair, okay? So I'm gonna attach it to this hair. If I can, I wanna move the hair in the front, and then, like I said, we're gonna twist this way. So since I'm gonna twist this way, I'm gonna use this piece to wrap around my hair. Keep in mind, my root is braided and I'm twisting it, so I don't want the braid to show. Now, I've actually made a mistake, so let me show you. On this one, I did not do the method that I'm about to show you. I just twisted it, so that's why you see the braid. But if you want to hide the braid more, this is what you want to do. You want to go around. Now, don't even necessarily twist yet, just go around it, but don't wrap it. Like, still do it like you're twisting it, but you're really only twisting one side. And I'm gonna show you when I'm done, because I don't really know what I'm saying. Like, okay. And I like to do that probably like 3 or 4 times, and do it tight. Like, do it tight, do it really, really tight, because it's gonna loosen up. So now you see how like tight and twisty it is. I was just wrapping it around and around. Now I'm going to take the edge control, put it on my hair so that it stays. Now in some videos, I see that the girls separate the hair and then twist it, or they'll just keep it as one piece and twist it. I've done both on my head, and I prefer keeping it as one piece and twisting it together, and I'm gonna tell you why. When you separate it and put it together, that part where you separate it, it kind of like gaps, and I don't like how that looks. Like, if it looks like that on a few twists, cool, but I don't want it to look like that on all of them. So anyway, so we're just gonna keep it in one strand, and you're still going to twist tight. The braid still kind of peeks out, but you really gotta be all up in my head to really see that, sis. Like, you gotta be all up in my head. Just want to twist it tight. Twist it tight. Once you pass your hair, you don't have to twist it as tight. But the thing is, if you twist it loose, like, honey, your hair not gonna be looking cute, honey. It's not. Now you see how tight this looks? It's not gonna look like this once it unravels. It's gonna look less tight, so don't even worry about that. Because that's what I did in the beginning. I tried to make looser twists so it could be chunkier, but that just ends up with like loose hair. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. Like, we don't want that. So now that my hair is not in here any longer, I'm going to wet it. And the hair likes water, so it, you know, it's nice and bouncy how you want it. Now that we passed that part, we can just twist it. Like, we don't have to twist as tight. We can go a lot faster, and it is okay. So on the twist, I still like to use edge control, but just not throughout the whole twist like I was doing in the beginning. Especially when I get to the ends, because I want to lock it.
On the floor, I know you see me looking at you and you already know.
Now, some people think that when it comes to twists, it's like braids. You have to put it in hot water and set it. Like, no, you don't. You don't have to put a rubber band on it either to get it to stay. Like, it will stay by itself. Once I get to the bottom, like I want about that much out, I make sure that I put some edge control. I don't know if this really works or not, but hey, it's been working, so we gonna do what works. Here. Like that. Now once you get here, I just kind of like lock it together. Hold it. Take some water. Go in the direction that I want to go in. But I don't want it to be frizzy either. So then I just take some more edge control and I just go over that. And voila. So even though it looks loose at the end, it's not going to unravel. Okay, now that I showed y'all that, I'm just gonna go through the rest of my hair and, you know, I'm gonna just show y'all one more without talking. Y'all should really get it. Like, that's really what it is. Like, that's really what it is. Oh, also because I didn't mention this, so the method that I used, and I'm gonna show you how I parted it too when I'm done, so don't worry about that, because I know I like to see the way people parted it, so I got you, sis. Trust me, you're gonna see it. It's just gonna be at the end. If you're wondering about the different methods and which one to go with, it's up to you. I would suggest either doing it the way that I did it, where you braid some and then, you know, twist, crochet it and then twist it, or you actually braid it in the beginning and then start to twist it. I don't like that because I don't like the way the braid and then the twist looks. To each its own. If you're doing like brown hair, it's not going to be that noticeable, but if you do blonde hair, it's going to be more noticeable. So if I have it to where you'll just see like the braid poke out a little bit, I'm okay with that rather than a whole braid starting off and then a twist. So to each its own. 2, the rubber band method. Now, I've done the rubber band method once when it came to braids, and it worked out because basically the rubber band is, you see how tight my friend did this? I cannot braid that tight. Like, I don't know how to cornrow, so I don't know how to braid this tight at the root. So the reason why I say don't do rubber band method when it comes to this style is because, and I feel like that's what a lot of people don't tell you, is that it's not really gonna last because, okay, say for example, when I braided my hair and did the rubber band style, the rubber bands popped out after a while, especially if you're gonna be on vacation like I am, doing physical activity. But because it's braided, it's not gonna fall out because you braided your hair, you just needed it to grip. But with the twist, if you use the crochet method and then twist it, it's gonna unravel. So if you do use the rubber band method, you're gonna have to braid and then twist. Like, you're not just gonna be able to use the rubber band method and just twist, because if your rubber band pops, your twist is coming out, honey, okay? There you go. Back to our scheduled paid programming. Because this hair will knot up at the bottom at times, and if you pull it, it can like mess up the twist. So I just suggest cutting it. I'm gonna do the rest of these and then I'm gonna come back. Hola, chicos. So I finished my hair. I'm gonna do a spin around for you. Okay. So like I said, I was gonna discuss how I parted my hair. So I didn't do regular parting, I did brick parting. So, you know, they're not all even, basically. What a brick pattern means is, you know, how the line and that. The reason why I like the brick pattern versus just regular parting is, one, I feel like it lays better when my hair is down. Two, if I want to wear my hair up, you see how it gets that like asymmetrical look? I like it. That is the final look. I hope you guys like it. I don't know. It's cute, but I wanted more. But I don't know. It's cute. I'm just hard on myself sometimes. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like it? Do you want to try it? Would you do it? This is the full length. So it goes all the way to basically down to my butt when I stretch it out. So they are super long. So that's why I say you don't really have to get 22, because if you want it waist length, like you can get waist length with 18 inches. You just have to stagger it. Like if you get 22 inches, it's gonna be past your butt. I hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys another day. See you guys another day. Like, who do I think I am? I'm that bitch. That's who I am. That's who I am. Beyonce ain't got nothing on me. Let me stop. Have a nice day. It's your girl NYAHSKY. I'm out.